Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And came across a very interesting article today, and I'm going to read just a few portions of it. This is from ZeroHedge.com, which it's a very interesting step that is being taken over here now, and you'll see why in just a minute. Okay, and this lines up with the direction in which Revelation 13 deals with. Okay, more specifically about them making this image, and basically anybody that's against the image of the beast, okay, should be killed. Which they move in steps. Okay, but one main means of coercion or punishment would be to outcast people from society. And so what they're doing now is, since right now society has many forms of allowing people to partake, mainly through transactions, of course, but in order for them to now have the option to be able to outcast certain individuals based on their beliefs, okay, and their views, they are changing the system in itself into a new one. Okay, and then anybody that does not opt in will be automatically left out. And it's interesting that they're doing this because they are the same ones that apparently push that you can believe whatever you want, you can identify as whatever you want, all that, but yet you really can't. Now it says the rise of totalitarianism. That's the name of the part of the headline. Banks denying services based on political views. Okay, I'll read that again. It says banks denying services based on political views. Now it says here, it's it's a fairly decently lengthed article, so I'm just gonna skim through and get to the point, okay, of what's most important here. So you basically had an individual that had his bank account, his bank account closed, and I'm gonna read starting from here. All right, and the individual is Faraj, if I'm saying his name right. Now it says Mr. Faraj is a well-known figure, the scourge of the Euro Federalists, and probably more responsible than any other single person for the referendum vote in 2016 for Britain to leave the European Union. Like most public figures with both strong opinions and a strong personality, Mr. Faraj is both widely admired and widely detested. If you ask someone about him, he is unlikely to answer on the one hand or the other. Or on the one hand, I guess I should say or the other. Mr. Faraj has been friendly with Donald Trump and has been opposed. Now listen to this, right? Has been opposed both to the excesses of TG, okay, the happy people, right? But the alternate lifestyle ideology, and to the pursuit of zero emissions. But he has done nothing illegal that so far has been revealed. And the bank admits that in his dealings with it, Mr. Faraj has always been polite and correct. When Mr. Faraj first announced that Coutts, Coutts, I guess that's the name of the bank, had closed his account, the bank at first claimed that it was because he didn't have enough money in it, and that the closure was therefore for purely commercial reasons. This turns out, however, not to have been so. It says, if the documents obtained from the bank by Mr. Faraj are genuine, it proves that the bank closed his account for purely political reasons. So if indeed, because apparently he got some documents from them, and if indeed, as it says here, they're genuine, then as the article is saying, that he basically had his account closed because of his political views, because of where he stood. Now it says, as Mr. Farage himself said, these documents read like something from Stacey headquarters. I quote just one or two of the statements in the documents. Apart from anything else, the English used is a tribute to the appalling state of British secondary and tertiary education. So it says here, given, now this is in quotes, so this is apparently, right, keyword apparently, what was part of the documents that was sent to him concerning the closure of his bank account. So it says, given Nigel Farage's high profile and the substantial amount of adverse press connected to him, there are significant reputational risks to the bank being associated with him. While it is accepted that no criminal convictions have resulted, commentary and behaviors that do not align with the bank's purpose and values have been demonstrated. The comments/articles on ESG, diversity, and inclusion are not in line with our views or our purpose. Now, once again, really, this lesson is not focused on, this exact particular event, okay, per se, but more so the precedent that it sets, right? Because we know that, regardless of the course of this individual's experience, the world is headed in a way where this kind of experience, okay, is going to become more commonplace. And I mentioned this when I did a lesson on the BIS, right, the Bank of International Settlements, and their project Icebreaker, which is supposed to basically connect all of the world's digital currencies through one platform, the hub, Icebreaker hub, and allow the conversion of one currency into another, okay, all digitally. But with that comes the ability for them to institute and set controls in place, right? Which is, if this business or if this bank or if this country or if this location, whatever institution, does not have views that align with our views, then they're going to be blocked off, and we're not going to allow them to use this platform. Now, you may say, okay, so they can do their own thing. The problem is, what they're making sure of is that everybody gets online and on board with this platform. And something that kills nations is isolation. Okay, if you isolate a particular country where they can't trade or have agreements or deals or interactions with other nations, it'll only be a matter of time before they start to go under. Okay, so what they do is they get all these nations on board into this digital space, and then they gain control over the digital space. So if they ban you from the digital space, that's pretty much economic suicide. Hence, you are coerced or forced to comply. And likewise, I mean, now they're saying that they have the whole FedNow system is live and running. So it's just a matter of time, because now that's just another piece that's been put in place. If they had plans on sticking to the conventional means of transactions, why would they go through the hassle of implementing a FedNow system? So what comes next? Well, we got to watch and see. But I did find this article very interesting. If indeed it is, genuine, right? Like the Farage said, and the documents that is from the bank, then it's definitely one step in that direction. To where if he got his bank account closed, and they're saying that at first they're saying, oh, it's because he didn't have money in it, X, Y, and Z, and then these documents are now saying that because of his political views, basically they don't want the bad press by being associated with him, so they closed his account. It says here, quoting a Guardian article, one document states, First it was Brexit, followed by a spurt of very successful campaigning to ensure that Britain left Europe on the most stringent and self-harming terms. For a while, Nigel Farage then opposed the C, the big C restrictions. Now he is reviving his old hostility to action on the climate emergency. And referring to some of Mr. Farage's tweets, one document states, opposes clamping down on disinformation. Okay, so like I said, I mean, this article is not, 100% detailed and clear in the nature of this. Okay, but the overall concept is still clear here, right? Which is that he got his account closed, all right, yeah, and basically because of his views, okay, or his political views or his standings. So now, if they're trying to hook everything up in the world to be based on, you having access to make these digital transactions, and if they start to now implement rules like this on the side, right, you have to be accepting of these new ideologies. You have to be on board with X, Y, and Z. You have to do this, or else you're not going to be able to utilize your account. We're going to close your account, or we're not going to let you open one, or whatever the case is. Okay. Which, as we let's go here real quick. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, it says, and he no, actually, no, that's not what I want. What I want is 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. That the image, so who's the he? Ultimately it's Esau, but they got their you have the elites, and they have those that are their subordinates that are in the proper positions, allowing them. See, when they came out with a quote unquote world government, and they say, oh, we're deciding, we're moving very quickly towards digital currencies where we can track every transaction and X, Y, and Z. And they have these World Economic Forum meetings. Guess what? Who gave them the power to do that? It wasn't us, right? Ain't nobody went and voted and said, put Klaus Schwab in power to go and do X, Y, and Z. At least not the common folk. But what they're doing is they are setting up that system, which, in all honesty, it's already been here. The system that we have in place has already been here, but they are taking it a step further, okay, into fully establishing that new world order, and that is going to mean the complete digital slavery, okay, of the planet, and that's what verse 16 tells you about. But anyway, as it says here, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See, so, and once again, it starts off what looks like small or trivial, and then it continues to ramp up and up and up. That's the tactic of gradualism. Okay, there are consequences if you don't want to worship the image of the beast. And these are the system is set up in a way where these consequences are more dire, right? You don't really have alternative options like that. So when they tell you that, hey, if you don't, if you are against the tracking of people, or you're against the C juices, and you're against the TG people and all of these things, whatever it is that you are against, that they are for or they are pushing, whatever kind of narrative it is, they can use that against you. Okay, and start to deny you access. Ultimately, if you don't take that micro CHIP, they're going to deny you access to society. Okay, because they're transforming society to be based on transactions. Everything is digital. And so once they deny you access to that, well, you might as well not exist, because okay, that's how they're setting it up. You pretty much won't exist. You ain't gonna be in the system as an average citizen who has rights of an average citizen and privileges. But that's why the scriptures refer to it as an hour of temptation. Okay, but nevertheless, like I said, I found this very interesting. If indeed this is the exact case here, that they will close somebody's bank account or deny them services based on their political views. Because if that's the direction that these banks are headed in, then you know that it's going to be a real interesting time ahead. Okay. But anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. Hey, we at that time, man. All right, things are going to get hard. And at any moment, they could take a drastic turn. So, just make sure that you're staying in the spirit, in the right spirit. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.